now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Welcome back, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Wow, what a sports weekend.
You still look exhausted.
Rocktober, T-Paul. It was Rocktober in full effect. For real, Saturday night, I did my broadcast, did my work, came home, flipped on the TV like everybody else. That Saturday night.
Get Right special? Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll get to that.
We're not even talking. And you're not even talking about how you got people right again. 24-8.
You were never losing that game either.
And you know what?
I got bad news for you though. This weekend, Michigan became a national championship contender.
We're gonna get to all that, T-Foss. You can't do it all. Sam Flannel had a couple moments during that game. We're going to talk about that.
Well, listen, international too, because the Minister of Accountability was in the chat thread during that Michigan game, even though I was in Western Canada and stuff like this. So I saw this stuff go down. Like, we talked sort of like, do you remember when this text came through, Neal?
Oh, yeah.
On the screen. Do you remember what time that was?
I
This was
marked
my
it on there.
first full... Has anybody else ever just like been sitting there alone by themselves and just laughed out loud?
Yeah, well, and for those who may be listening on the podcast, on iTunes or wherever, we had a text thread going on during the Michigan game. I was actually driving down to Keyworth to do Detroit City, D-Max in Edmonton, and we were kind of ribbing Sam Flannel a little bit about the Penn State-Michigan game, and Sam Flannel had a moment, and his text was, quote, this is at halftime. They've just been stagnant and complacent too often. They let teams hang around, and it's going to bite them in this game. I don't think Michigan is winning this game. The Blake Corum stats always look good, but every Big Ten game has been a struggle for this team as a whole. And then D-Mac on brand screenshot this ish. So I did. But, so I did, because that's what I do.
Yep.
So, that's Michigan fan for you right there. That's the Michigan fan experience, was it not, Sam Flannel?
He's a young guy. He doesn't listen to me. Sam, you should have just hung on. And when you look at that game, it was a fluke that Penn State was ahead. Use your eyes, use your mind, and be patient.
But that's why I was so disappointed, because it was such a fluke. At halftime, Michigan had 18 first downs and Penn State had 1, and Michigan was only up by 2. Michigan kept settling for field goals in the red zone, and that's what gets you beat, because all it took was Penn State having 2 big plays, that Sean Clifford 60-some-yard run and the pick 6, and at that point they were in the lead and they were only down by 2 at halftime. Those are the type of situations that get you beat at some point. Michigan did come back, though.
Flannel. It's Sean Clifford and James Franklin. You were never in danger of losing that game. But Penn State sucks.
There's no excuse, though.
And, brother, here's an old saying. You may be too young to hear this. Cream always rises to the top.
Especially when one of the ingredients in the bowl is Penn State and James Franklin and Sean Clifford.
All you got to do is hang on. The ride's going to end real quick.
But Neal, my question is, from where Sam was deep in the doldrums at halftime to where he ended up after the game to where he ended up today, to the fact of going from that statement to the fact if Alabama came into the big house, Michigan would run them all up and down the field.
Yeah, 400 yards rushing, just like the Penn State game.
I never said they would rush for 400 yards against Alabama.
Yeah, but you were thinking 200.
That's reasonable.
Okay,
That's extremely reasonable.
300.
That's
400.
reasonable.
All right, there's a bye week this week. If Alabama came into the big house, what would happen?
Okay, so I think that Michigan would win the game. This is not the Alabama team of yesteryear. This is not...
Because they would have to come to the big house, because Michigan doesn't go on the road.
And that's fair. And I don't think that Michigan would win at Alabama, but at the big house in the cold weather, this Alabama team is not as good as it once was. They lost John Mechie. They lost Jamison Williams. They lost Brian Robinson. They lost Christian Harris. I mean, their defense can't really stop anybody. Honestly, that's... Michigan would do damage.
I have one question for you, Sam. On this October 17th, Monday morning, Big D Energy. Do you like your spot right now as your Michigan fandom going into your bye week? Right now, do you like your spot? Are you more optimistic about what's going to happen the rest of the season than you were at the beginning of the year? Has this team showed you something to the end of the game? I want to know going into the bye week right now where you're at with this Michigan team.
Oh, I'm extremely optimistic about this Michigan team because of the way they responded in the second half. They ran for 418 yards. That offensive line just punished Penn State. They had like 41 time of possession of Penn State's like 18 or 19. It was pure and utter domination. Penn State couldn't do anything about it. Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards finally had that two-headed monster game, and J.J. McCarthy even showed me something running the football and giving the threat of running.
Did J.J. McCarthy gain ground in the Heisman race?
Blake Corum sure as hell did. Blake Corum is firmly in the Heisman race, and he's leading the Doak Walker. Come on now. He had over 160 rushing yards and a touchdown, and that big 61-yard run.
He's not even the best running back on his team.
Okay, that might be true because of skill-wise, but it's not about being the best running back on your team. It's about putting up numbers and having moments. Donovan Edwards was hurt. Blake Corum has stepped in and been the every-down running back. He has 900 yards and 13 touchdowns. Those are numbers that are almost on pace with what Kenneth Walker did last year.
Oh, my God.
That's just math. Those are just numbers.
Big games.
You were told, Neal, the tough part here where you're sitting, and I know where it is, but you got to go because we were told Penn State's, you can't run on them. And absolutely.
See, and that's what everybody said.
But to your point, that you're always told.
Yeah, Ohio couldn't run on them. Central couldn't run on them.
Right, I understand that.
And come to find out, Auburn's got the 105th ranked rushing attack in college football. They can't run either.
So basically what you're saying is Penn State, they had a good running defense, and because Michigan shredded them, it's not because Michigan it's good, it's because Penn State wasn't good anyway.
No,
Neal,
it's a little of both.
You're brilliant at what you do at framing things.
No,
that's what you do.
It's a little of both.
Okay, fine, you gave Michigan credit. They ran for 418 yards. That's elite.
Because
That's
Donovan
elite.
Edwards is a star.
Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum are stars.
You can't be hater at every stop. Either
What are you
Michigan has a good rushing attack or Penn State sucks. Which is it?
No, it can be both, Terry. It can be both.
All right.
Certainly,
I
Penn
saw
State
80-20.
sucks.
I like to use percentages.
80-20.
I like 80-20.
But
80-20, but Michigan impressed me because why? Because when they needed to.
I wanted to get to this one later, but here we are. Here we are.
No, go where you want to go. Shame on us.
No. Chuck Brewer says, Sam, wow, this team reminds me a lot of the 97 team. Just win and move on. See, and Spence, look, I told you guys this was coming, right? Yeah. I told you guys this was coming back in July.
What did you say earlier?
10,
just because you know it's coming doesn't mean you're ready for it.
I said, there's no way they're not 10-0.
Yeah.
There's no way they're not. But here we are, and Sam Flannel, this team reminds me a lot of the 97. Stop.
What's wrong with that?
This team does not remind me of the 90. I'll say
Terry.
this team is more dynamic than the 97 team. The 97 team was boring. It wasn't, to me, wasn't a national championship caliber team, even though they won all their games. They kind of stunk, but they won. They had Charles Woodson, and he made some spectacular plays. But I thought the 97 team, I thought every week they were going to lose. But they won. Got to give them credit. But I think this team is better, more dynamic, and has more flair than that team.
See, I just look at Twitter, right? Everybody was kind of piling on Alabama, for losing, and Alabama's mid, and Alabama's not great. There's no way that Michigan would survive this road schedule that Alabama's got. And you agree with that. To go to Texas, to go to Tennessee, they have to go to Ole Miss. There's nobody surviving
the SEC,
that.
So those are the teams on their schedule. Big deal. Michigan's doing what they need to do. And you know what? For whatever task at hand and coming up to it, I look in the locker room after the game, and I look at the vibe around. They got something special here. Alabama, I said it last week when I bet on them. They're not the same Alabama team. Yeah, you're right to everything you said, Neal, but that's what happens when you're a national championship and when you play from the top. When everybody's always trying to knock you down. They're not as good this year. So that's why, for a fact, I said last week, I think there's a new national champion other than Georgia or Alabama. And it's okay because every great team wears out to the end where they have to have a little bit of a regroup.
But don't we need this?
Isn't it to
No,
the SEC?
as people, followers of college football, don't we sort of need this? Every year it's
Absolutely.
supposed to be, okay, this is going to be Alabama or Georgia.
They freaking
No,
threw
you
the
need something.
freaking
You need some variety.
field goal
Yeah.
post into the river in Tennessee, which was the most awesome. If you haven't seen them tearing down the field
Go
goals
to
and
Twitter and
walking
check
it
that out.
out of the stadium and throwing it in the river, right? Yes, college football absolutely needs that. And, you finally had an SEC team other than Georgia step up. So I think that, what do you want? Alabama, how long have they been on top? Right? There is going to have this moment. And you're right, Neal, right? Oh, you're explaining the why. But the whole thing is that I think that things are more up for grabs. And college football as a whole, there could be a different national champion.
Lewis M, WoodwardSports.com chat there. Remember, you can get involved in there. Says Neal's a facts guy until it's about Michigan. LOL. What is not factual about that? And look,
It's the way you say it.
You're good. It's
Tone,
tone.
right?
It's a tone
Yeah,
thing.
it's
There we go.
tone.
It's a tone thing. No, I mean, hey, they're going to get away with playing one game this year. They are.
Sam, you should have said the way with your tone that you shape those
But see, guys,
arguments.
look, everyone that's coming after me in the chat, and I've been consistent with this, Sam Flannel. I'm not mad at them for it because they can get away with it.
But you literally betted Penn State to at least cover the spread, and now
No,
that
that-
Michigan
I know, I never-
curb stops their ass,
Yeah.
you're just like,
I
Penn
did
State
that.
wasn't good anyway.
Yeah, we
You can't
did
play
that
it
for
both
some
ways.
fun and stuff like that. Like that, that was fun and stuff like that. They are going to get away without playing anybody up until the Ohio State game.
Whether you like it or not, Penn State was a top 10 opponent with a top 5 rushing defense, and you bet Penn State to cover the spread. And now that Michigan, like I said, curb stomps Penn State into the ground, runs it all over their throats, you're like, oh, Penn State wasn't even good anyway.
They're not good. They've never been good. Since they got here, they haven't been good.
They've been a consistent 10, 11 win program, and this year they were
But you
undefeated.
look at guys, the schedule game. Play the schedule game.
So what? Michigan still got their test win of the season, and you're giving them no credit.
No, for beating Penn State at home and James Franklin and Sean Clifford. No,
By
I won't be giving them.
24.
I don't care how many they beat them
By
by.
Uncle T.
24.
Foss, Can you
Yes,
give
sir.
Can you give us a final word maybe about what these two gentlemen here are?
All right, here's the deal. Neal does not want to give Michigan any credit, no matter what happens. Now, you're either saying the Big Ten sucks. We know Michigan had the cupcakes in the preseason, right? That's all done. Everything
They're
else.
playing cupcakes now in the Big Ten.
But, baby boy, so what you're acknowledging is the Big Ten sucks.
Yes.
Okay. Should Michigan move to the SEC? What can they do?
They can take care of.
They don't
the
have to,
games
Terry. See,
they
this
play.
is where the disconnect is. And again, like the people coming at me in the chat, I don't blame them. I would do it too. If I were Harbaugh, if I were their AD, why would you not do it?
Okay, what are they doing exactly?
You know what they're doing, Terry.
The non-conference is over.
Uh-huh.
And so now they got to play Big Ten teams.
Which is roughly equivalent to the non-conference
Okay,
portion.
but Michigan doesn't schedule the Big Ten teams.
Uh-huh.
That's the conference they're in.
Right.
They play who they tell them to play. And no matter what they do, you're going to dog them.
But I'm not dogging them, Terry. I'm just bringing it to light. Like I'm just bringing a light to it.
All right.
This is factual. This is
All
what
right,
the schedule
here's
was.
what's factual. Yes or no, fellas? Did Michigan kick Penn State's ass?
Oh, it was the
Yes.
complete and utter
At
domination.
the very least, is
Wait a minute. How can you say that when we have a text at halftime that says, I don't think Michigan's going to win this game?
because they stepped
60
up the
minutes
throat
he
and stopped
doesn't
them in the
listen
second
to me.
half.
He's young and stupid. That's why.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. Is Penn State at least a top 20 team?
Yes.
And are they one of the top 20 teams in the nation?
No.
Yes.
No way.
Darren?
You know what? I would, off
No.
the top of my head, they're probably right around there. Listen to this conversation. It's more of that college football is tighter as far as talent-wise, whether that's good or bad. I don't know, Terry, but I would suspect, and like last week from what they said, the only question now for Michigan is what you saw the way that they played, do you feel more confident going into the horseshoe?
It's the exact same to me. Like, because they're still untested, and they're still untested. They still haven't gone into an environment.
I disagree on tested. When people tell me that this team's the defensive guru and you go out there and do exactly what they do, you run on that. So you're taking care of task at hand, but you're building something. Because the way the vibe is in the Michigan locker room this week and whatever like that, I don't think it's overconfidence.
We were told 15 minutes before kickoff, Michigan cannot run against this defense.
By who? By
Urban Meyer.
By the Big Blue pregame show?
Yeah. Well, Urban Meyer is not a Big Blue guy.
No, he doesn't work for the network. Gives you the
Meyer
Big Blue pregame show.
Like Michigan.
Huh?
He did pick Michigan.
Well, of course he did.
I thought that was kind of weird. Like, it's just weird to see. Like, I thought Michigan was going to win, but it's weird to see Urban Meyer like, yeah, I'm going to go with the Wolverines. I was like,
and was he right?
That doesn't feel right.
You know what's not weird? Loaded fries and burgers at Big Boy.
Facts.
That's not weird. For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries are available at Big Boy. It's not just a Slim Jim. It's the Big Jim.
It's so big.
The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? It's the Bacon Blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. Spencer can tell you. They have the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. That's the website. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. They are your vitamin D headquarters. 27 locations and more on the way. It's Chili Peppers Tanning, y'all.
Chili Peppers Tan.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Terry Foster here with you, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here in the building, WoodwardSports.com chat thread, jump in. Good to have you all with us. Chuck Brewer, Neal, after Michigan wins 25 games in a row and 2 national titles, Michigan is untested. Well, I don't think that's going to happen, seeing as they have a half of one since the 40s. But I know that's being a hater, right? Because that's what they're going to say. Jeff Lady says, untested, dude, shut up, because they smoke PSU. Now PSU sucks. No, they suck because they've always sucked ever since they've come here.
Your actions told me, though, with the way that you bet them to cover, that you do not think they suck.
What are you talking about, bet them to cover?
You did on your last week. That was your loss. You bet Penn State to cover.
Yeah,
that was your pick.
Yeah, took Penn State.
Yeah, so obviously you thought they were going to be able to do something, and Penn State got curb stomped by 24.
We got a text from you saying they're not going to win this game.
It was a 2-point game at halftime. They responded in the second half and played one of their best halves of football I've ever seen. Which is it, Sam Flannel?
Which is it? Are they a dominant force, or are they going to lose this game?
Yes, because they won the second half.
Right? Good thing it's a full game, not just halftime.
They don't play 30-minute games.
The young man is stupid. The young man won't listen to Uncle T. Foss and just relax. T, I can't help him. Maybe moving forward, he'll learn from this experience.
All these young bucks around here just scream and they go off. I said, guys, just relax. You're supposed to play 60 minutes. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
And James Franklin was the coach for Penn State, right? Is he a good coach?
No.
All right. Here's the
name a big game he's won. Thank you. Good talk.
Auburn. At Auburn.
Against the 104th ranked, the 104th ranked rushing attack of Auburn.
It's always tough to win down there.
He did win a Big Ten title in 2016, including a win against Ohio State. That's a big win. I'm not saying James Franklin is a good coach.
Well, that's right, because Michigan fans, if you do it once, you can do things once, right, Spence? Yeah. And then you can be 1-9 as long as you got that one.
But that's a big win, and James Franklin can recruit. He just not a good coach, though.
All right, who is the defending Big Ten champion?
New info.
Michigan.
For Sam.
Yep, absolutely.
Who's what, Terry?
Who's the defending Big Ten champion?
That's true. That's a true statement.
Okay.
Right.
Just like
they were 1-2 in games against teams with a pulse.
They don't say you get a invisible trophy because you got your ass kicked by Ohio State 15 years in a row. They say you're the Big Ten champion. So celebrate it.
Yeah. But they were 1-2 against real teams last year. Not the Iowas and the Purdues and stuff like that.
Well, Iowa was in the Big Ten championship game. Mm-hmm. They were.
Anyway, Lions obviously had the bye yesterday. And, D-Mac, we talked about how glorious Saturday was, like just spinning around the TV dial and all that kind of stuff. As I looked around the landscape, and you got to do the red zone thing, where you get to see all the games going on, stuff you don't normally get to do during a Lions Sunday. And as we got towards 4 o'clock, and I saw these games start to take an identity, and I saw the Falcons beat the 49ers, and I saw the Giants win yet again, as I saw all these teams.
You saw the Jets go into Lambeau.
And to use Sam Flannel's verbiage, curb stomp.
Right, and Green Bay,
Packers.
last I checked, was not resting its players.
Right.
Like they do every time against the Lions.
I had all these things kind of pop back into my head, D-Mac, where I started to get bothered again. Because the Giants are 5-1. With Kenny Golladay as their highest paid player.
Yeah, but he's not playing. That's the best part. I think you're asking.
D-Mac.
I know what you're asking, right? Around the league.
D-Mac, I asked the question, when is it our turn?
Yeah.
When do we? I saw the Pittsburgh Steelers with nobody available, with their starting quarterback get hurt. Destroy Tom Brady. Take him out. I saw it. I saw all those things happen. Why aren't injuries? Why aren't they talking about who's not playing in Pittsburgh, or who's not playing for the Jets, or who's not playing for the Giants? You know what else I saw in that Giants game, Sam Flannel?
Kayvon Thibodeau making plays, something Aiden Hutchinson hasn't done except for one half. Plays to win the game, plays to seal the game, 2 weeks in a row.
I keep seeing this everywhere else, man, and it's not here. And so I want to know why. Why?
Well, it's frustrating, too, because you look around the league to these teams that we're talking about, how have rookie or second-year coaches. There's some sort of turmoil where we're looking at our team, looking at our roster. Neal, this goes back to the two separate things, right? To the Brad Holmes getting the roster right. Because I look at our roster, Detroit Lions, and talent-wise, and say we're more talented than most of these teams by our lineup.
You go down the Giants' payroll. It's a train wreck.
Those guys are available, and the message is getting there. To me, this weekend was more frustrating to the fact of, are we further away because is coaching really the problem? Because other teams that are less talented than us are finding a way to win. So that doesn't give us an excuse. We got to find a way to win regardless of whatever else. You look at the job that like Brian Dable's done with the Giants. You look at Dearborn's own Robert Saleh, who, to me, started the season, wasn't the first few games or whatever. Saleh was on the hot seat. But he's got that team playing, and that team plays hard. And I don't know. When is it our? That's the question. And to me, it's more glaring. It's the availability of guys to make plays, but it's also coaching. So I don't know. And I don't know if it's the head coach or it's the position coach. So
T-Foss. Help me on why. Why doesn't it happen here? Why?
Yeah, I'm going to give you an answer that you're not going to like, because it's the Lions. That's what they do. Look, it can't happen here as quickly because
I'm tired of hearing that shit, man.
No. Here's the shit, brother. The Lions went through 20 years of garbage. No other NFL franchise has done that. So they've got to dig themselves out of this. That's an expansion team that the Lions were for the last 15, 20 years. And, you know, when you're mismanaged year after year after year after year, you don't crawl out of a hole in 2 years.
I keep looking at the landscape, man, with the Giants, and you go down their payroll. Kenny Golladay up at the top, Leonard Williams, Adoree Jackson, Andrew Thomas, Daniel Jones.
Oh, you know who had a big game yesterday? Big play. He used to be on the Lions, right?
100%. Yeah,
right.
Even the Eagles, the same story.
Right.
I look at the Jets. You go down the Jets list. Carl Lawson, Corey Davis is their second highest cap hit this year. John Franklin Myers, Quinnen Williams, who obviously is good, Connor McGovern. And then you go down the Lions and look, you have Jared Goff, which is the nature of the contract with the quarterback position. Then you keep going down the Lions list and you look down and it's Taylor Decker and Frank Ragnow, right? Good players, right? What's the disconnect?
It's got to be the coach, not just the coaching for the positions, but the coaching decisions. Right? We got, Ray brings it up. We have a team that plays hard for their coach, but we got a coach that makes some poor decisions on timeouts or decisions fourth down. It seems if you go back, and I don't know, I don't watch every play of the Giants games or the Jets games, whatever.
Nor do I. I just look down at the bottom of the screen and they're winning games.
Right? It seems like these other teams with younger coaches or whatever are making the right decisions. You look at that game yesterday between the Chiefs and the Bills, right? At the end of the game, when they're trying to run the clock out because, God forbid, you give the ball back, just like they did again. We remember the playoffs last year where Buffalo gave it back with like 13 seconds left. They ran down the field. Well, KC did it again. But if you watch the end of that game, the way Josh Allen, took the snap, took the kneels, moved around a little bit, they got the play clock and the game clock to match the same, so Kansas City didn't get it back. To me, that's Sean McDermott. That's guys buying in to the little things. We can't do the big things right, so how are we supposed to get the little things right? That's what these other teams are doing, that we should be better than, right? That we're more talented than, but it's not executed. That's why you have to play the game.
Stephen Baffey, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. The Giants won 3, 5, 4, 6, and 4 games in the last 5 years. They hired a new coach, and they're 5-1. The Jets won 5, 4, 7, 2, and 4 the last 5 years. They hired a new coach last year. They're 4-2. So that's it, Terry? Is it that simple? Is it that simple?
It looks like, how many games the Lions won? Last I checked, they won 3 games last year. And their high was 6 under Patricia.
And then you got the Falcons beating the 40. I mean, when do we win games we're not supposed to win? When do we go on the field and it doesn't matter who's not available? You just find a way to win. Win. I got heated yesterday, man.
It happened the year after next.
Okay, thanks, man. And look, yes, we're going to talk about the Red Wings because we should, and we're going to.
You brought up a great point. And maybe this is out there, but Spence, like Neal said, Neal texted me last night, we were talking, he goes, this is the most heated and upset I've been on a bye week. We're supposed to be able to enjoy it because the joke is, hey, we can't lose today, but it seems like we lost. Did anybody else figure that out because it was more apparent and your eyeball test, if you paid attention to the NFL coaching, what's going on, that there are guys out there getting the job done? Why? When is it our turn?
Yeah. And yes.
Baby boy, when are you going to learn the hell with the Lions? Forget them.
What else am I going to do, Terry? What else
can
am I
watch them and enjoy them and unenjoy them, but don't get all bent out of shape because this is what they do. They've been doing this just all your life.
Yes, I know that,
and they're going to be
Terry.
doing it for another 50 years.
I was in the stands as a little boy, though, in the Silverdome with my father when they won a playoff game. I was there.
They had the little knickers on and everything, and cute shoes.
Knickers. Yeah, I wore knickers to the Silverdome. I fit right in. I win.
But with it going, here's the last thing. With the way that we see it going with other teams and these young coaches, isn't it more apparent that the clock, when it winds down, that decisions will have to be made? Your pound of flesh somewhere is going to be needed by the end of the season, because look at what's going on.
And D-Mac, look, I know that we kind of came up with the clock thing, and it was nice and everything like that. But this, dude, D-Mac, there's two things here. Obviously, what went on around the NFL, like there's the clock right there, and I know we came up with it, but with new information, Sam Flannel,
you're allowed to change your opinion.
Hey, if this ish doesn't turn around to some degree, then we got to have that discussion come January 9th.
What it tells you is when the clock runs out is D-Day. More so than, hey, we're going to make a decision.
If it continues,
like literally that's the countdown to tick, tick, tick as we go. 12 more games.
There may have to be a pound of flesh, D-Mac.
There may have to be a pound of flesh.
Start making peanut butter sandwiches.
Prepare for the pound of flesh.
The team that delivered the pound of flesh, the Detroit Red Wings, when it was unacceptable, they're undefeated. They play again tonight down at LCA against the Kings. We're going to talk about them.
We're going to be there.
We are. We're going to be down there, as a matter of fact. Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day betting activity. Play-by-play updates, live scores, the best price on every game from multiple sports books. That's the most important component to this. Don't give anything away. Bet the best line. You can customize the list to sportsbooks you have accounts with. There's no wasting time closing apps, opening apps on your phone, waiting for the app to load up. None of that stuff. You have all the information at your fingertips. You act. You fire. And that's the way that it should go. Go to oddstrader.com and find your best bet.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty here in the house. Terry Foster in the lounge chair as well. We got Sam Flannel. We got Spencer Raxter. And we do have to talk about this, because what was the one thing I clamored for, T? What did I want one time with one of these teams? Can we play from ahead? Right?
Yes.
Can we play from ahead?
You did clamor about that, and it looks like one club is doing that in town.
Your Detroit Red Wings, a couple of victories over the weekend.
Oh, by the way, you know the Wings have more wins in one weekend than the Lions do after a month and a half. How about that?
It's all it took was about 28 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's all it took to get 2 wins for the Red Wings. But they are back home. And look, it wasn't easy per se. You know, they had a back-to-back. They had to go on the road. But they got the job. They found a way, man. They found a way. And D-Mac, your Detroit Red Wings, my Detroit Red Wings.
Ours.
Detroit Red Wings sitting there at the top of the Atlantic Division, tied with the Bruins and the Florida Panthers. I know we're 2 games in, but here we are.
Well, let's pump the brakes a little bit, but I think
No, D-Mac, it's Stanley Cup Finals or bust right now.
You know what you're seeing, right? And having this conversation with Fish earlier and stuff like this, because he was excited. But the fact is, you're seeing an NHL hockey team. I think what you're seeing is really the free agents that have been acquired, from the Sherratts to the Bottas to the Perrons to Andrew Kopp. What are you seeing, Neil? Seeing more puck possession, face-offs?
Face-off wins!
Stuff like that. What I'm seeing is a unit. You know, the unit. In the past, when things would get disheveled, right, it would continue to go in that sort of experience. Now it seems what Derek Lalonde, 1-1-3, 1-1-3, 1-1-3, but they're playing together. They're playing with a lot of speed, you know, the size line. Sundquist, Rasmussen,
The
and
Redwoods.
Soderblom, are
like
the
that.
size line. I like that.
Yeah.
And stuff like this. Now, your boy Zadina is going to get in the lineup tonight.
So no Verana, I'm seeing in the WoodwardSports.com chat.
And I guess Bert's out 4 to 6. Upper body.
Is that what it is?
Took one off the
so
wrist,
that'll be
too.
that'll be interesting because you're gonna slide Suter in the lineup, but what are you gonna? You're not gonna slide him in first line. You're probably gonna move Kubalik up. I'm waiting to hear from our boy Mike Gentry to see what you might get. And you have NHL players like you. The same conversation we're having about the Lions or whatever, and you look at that Red Wings team and look at NHL team. Doesn't mean wins and losses. Don't get ahead of ourselves. But what we've built to this next point, you're seeing this next level. Guys in the back were asking me about who's going to be the starting goalie. Is it Husso or Ned? I think it's a rotating conversation to these guys.
Yeah, I'm more Team Husso, but that's just me.
No, I think that he gets the opportunity, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see a guy home and away. I don't think you're going to see the traditional goal. You're going to play here, you're going to play there, starter backup. I think it's like 1A, 1B, but they both find out where they both play well. I'd be interested in the conversation. I'm do goaltenders like playing in different arenas? Do they like playing against different teams? That can be the case. So what you saw over the weekend is they did what they needed to do, but I like it because of the team aspect and the little things, right? Killing penalties, scoring power play goals, face-offs, hits. First period of the season, 25 shots on net, right? If it wasn't, for Jake Allen and net for Montreal, it was a different game. But the resilience and the stick-to-itiveness, right? Because usually in the past when you're inexperienced, right, you're gonna shoot your shot with all your power, and then you're going to be spent, and then that's usually when momentum. Ice and hockey leans both ways, right? The momentum. That's not what's happening. It's perseverance. Elmer Soderblom getting the first goal of the season, sort of apropos to everything else. So, big game again tonight. Got to go back to work. It's putting them together. We're gonna have conversations. What's wrong with the Wings this year during the week? But to get off to the start they wanted, I don't think they could have drawn it up any better. And to me, right? It starts with Steve Yzerman, but give Derek Lalonde a lot of credit because of coming in, knowing what was needed, the direction. Because to me, it's the message, and the guys are playing hard.
T, what about
it's the
this?
message, and he's also got them better organized than in previous years so far.
And that shows too. What about this though, T? Because I wanted to run this by you in particular because you've seen it all. As I talked yesterday about the bye week for the Lions and going around the NFL and how that kind of bothered me about the situation with the Lions.
Right.
What about this team? This Red Wings team, I think put a little fuel on the fire for me personally with that too because I saw them. They showed us. You know what I'm saying? They won games. It was really wild. Do you think that am I like every person out there, T, where that adds to my aggravation because the Red Wings are doing it? They gave the pound of flesh. They got rid of Blashill. Derek Lalonde comes in here, and he looks like he's tightened things up, as you said.
Right. But the Wings, for years, have been a real organization. Even when they've slumped. They made the playoffs 25, 26 years in a row. They know what it takes to get back on that horse. And Steve Yzerman, a guy that, if you want to criticize him, you criticize him for being too patient, but that's the way to go. You don't get off flippant and make goofy moves. Now, you notice the Wings are playing some defense, and how did he start building this team? From the goal out. In other words, you're not going to score a bunch of goals on us anymore. Hopefully you don't see the 10-goal and 11-goal explosions that you saw last season. People are more disciplined. They're thinking more defense. Getting hit in the chest with pucks, and they're okay with that.
I see a couple things in the chat, where you understand, and I love it because you're watching, where you see why Ben Sherratt is so loved by team coaches and GMs and maybe not the analytics giant. Like certain guys, you throw different things out because definitely he's made this team bigger. He's made this team tougher, right? Not that they had to be because he loves it. And that's sort of leadership. To Terry's point right there, Coach Lalonde came out said, we got to take care of our own end. And that's what you're seeing. You're not seeing that Chinese fire drill. You're not seeing the fact, I don't have the fear right now of Toronto coming in and putting up 3 or 4 goals in the third period, or just, embarrassing us at home. I think you're putting a team together. Now,
I'm not to that yet, D-Mac. Like Saturday night, I was sitting there thinking,
no, it could, right? No, but that's the whole thing. You're going to have that. We know that
the
Chinese fire drill.
Yeah.
Right? But it's how quick you can put the light out. Right now, yes, Michael Gentry, our Woodward Sports intrepid hockey reporter, has said that Dominic Kubalik will be on the first line with Raymond and Larkin. And I think, look for them to do something tonight. That and you got a guy like that. We don't mention him when we mention the free agents, but he could be the shining star in the back. Pure goal scorer, a guy that can play up and down the lineup. Real quick, somebody asked me something about the left wing lock. We don't play the left wing lock here now. That was back in when you could hold people up. And the left wing lock pretty much is the center and the left winger are responsible, one of them, for taking the left lane so that the left defenseman can move into the middle of the ice, right defenseman take the boards. Now, me as a right winger, I had no responsibility except chase the puck, chase guys around. The difference with the grind line is Scotty allowed us to work as 3, so I could technically be on the left wing lock. That's what made us, because we had 3 guys intertwining as opposed to 2. Now with the 1-3-3, it's similar, but it's more skating. So you have the one guy pushing into the 2 guys, but it allows your defenseman, your left defenseman that's in the middle of the ice, to cheat back and go get the puck a little earlier. When you have guys like a Mo Sider or a Ben Sherratt or guys like this, Ali Mata, that can get back there with extra time, that's what you need in this league, then they can turn around and get their heads up and out of your zone early. So it's different. The left wing lock worked because you could hold guys up. And guys we used to water ski. I could use my stick, guy would go by, I'd hook him with my stick and stuff like that. Different game. So the game's cyclical. The game's cyclical. So the 1-3-3 is the preferred choice by most successful teams in the NHL, especially playoff time.
Yeah, and there was a couple moments they even saw. Mickey and Ken Daniels both said it. Like Larkin wanted to go in there. Larkin wanted to go in there and chase that, but he's like, no, I gotta stay back. I gotta stay in the zone, stay in the 1-3-3, be disciplined, and it's stuff like that that's learning. That's just making them a better team. They're getting more disciplined. I'm sure, like you said, with the veteran guys like the Perron, you bring him. Perron's probably, even though Larkin's the captain, slapping him on the back of the head, like, come on, we gotta stay with the zone. Stay with the scheme. And it's working out.
This is
you brought
wild.
up a great point, Spence. Right? Because here's how systems work. It ain't the coach preaching down your throat, do this, do that. It's your accountability to your guys on the side. And when you got the leader, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You saw exactly what I said about watch Dylan Larkin's maturation as a leader. Right? That's because if I'm on the bench and I know that this is the message that's going to be preached, and I see my captain, my centerman, do that, right? I got to make sure I do that even more in my head. So they may overdo it, and maybe this time it's I'm going to err on the side of caution. You be more cautious, but it goes back to what you said, Terry. Steve Eisman's the most patient person,
right,
in Michigan.
But and you mentioned Dylan Larkin. He wanted to go in there, but he knew that wasn't his job. When you talk about the Lions, Aiden Hutchinson, who I still think is going to be fine, he's trying to do too much. He's playing himself outside of his lanes. He's going in where he shouldn't. He's getting trapped.
You only say that because he played at Michigan.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, that's where you learned it.
Hey, both things can be true.
You love it, T.
I do.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. I love Planet Fitness, and right now they're offering the $1 down, $10 a month special, but you got to act fast. You can join today in club. You're going to pass a couple on the way home. Jump on that computer, go to planetfitness.com. We will be broadcasting live from Planet Fitness on Ryan Road in Sterling Heights, East Side, all day on Wednesday, October 26th. You can come out, you can win prizes like Michigan versus Michigan State tickets to Michigan's 10th exhibition game of the season with a 1-year free Black Card membership. There's a signed Darren McCarty jersey, a signed Braylon Edwards jersey, Prize that we will be giving away all day long, Wednesday, October 26th at Planet Fitness on Ryan Road in Sterling Heights. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
DMAC here at Alta. Uptime Matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You got a bog project. It is the fall. You're going to be outside. Alta Rent. They've got you covered. So give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, all of you, woodwardsports.com chat thread as well. Like the watchers, Neal is all cap. Izzy, Neal is always going to be a Michigan hater. I mean, I just need more than...
Aren't you a truther?
Yeah, I just need more than half a national championship since the 40s. I just need more than that. I'm sorry. I need more than that.
Okay.
That's it. That's it.
Iowa fans in the Woodward Sports chat. I don't know about you guys, but these Thursday night football games have been fire.
that is
awesome.
true. Iowa. Nicholas Duncan. Here's one for you, Sam Flannel. Nicholas Duncan. Illinois is a trap game. Shut up.
But aren't you the same person that's going to say that Chase Brown is better than Blake Corum? Him and his
No.
4 rushing touchdowns? Get the F out of here.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
No, Michigan wins that game.
I'm going to say Donovan Edwards is better than Blake Corum, though.
He might be, but he just hasn't gotten the carries. He's been hurt. I mean, Blake Corum is putting up the numbers, but you might be right.
Aren't they good for runners?
Donovan Edwards is at least more complete.
Well, see, but I got to go back to it. Like with you, how come you don't want Donovan Edwards to play over Blake Corum? Isn't he more athletic? Doesn't he make bigger plays?
No,
Isn't he more multi-dimensional?
I'm not 100% sure that Blake Corum can hold up to the pounding of having 25, 26 carries every single week. I would like to see Donovan Edwards get more playing time because he showed us in this last game, had the best game of his career.
And I've been consistent with that.
You have.
Star.
But I'll go back to what we were talking with the quarterbacks. What has Blake Corum done wrong?
He's been amazing this year. He's
Right.
put up numbers. He has.
So you want him exclusively then to run the football?
No, I actually don't because I think Donovan Edwards getting more touches will be more beneficial for the team, even if it does hurt Blake Corum's Heisman case. It's more about the team's success.
I was told that. The team.
That's right.
No, Illinois is a trap game, though. Do you like that one, Spence?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think it is pretty funny. Izzy says Edwards fumbles the ball too much.
He did fumble that one time. He got it back. I'm not too worried about his fumbling. It's just, I don't know. He's been injured this year. He was out for a couple of games. I think that's the main reason he didn't get as much of a workload. And in his absence, Blake Corum showed that he could, at least in the short term, be an every down back. But Donovan Edwards, for Michigan to actually hit their potential, has to get a good portion of the carries.
Yeah, and we'll get into Michigan a little bit more because I have a critical question for the Michigan fans coming up in just a little bit. But D-Mac, I do want to kind of wrap up this Red Wings discussion with what we've seen so far. 5 different Red Wings have scored in 2 games. The Brands have scored. Verana's been good. Now, obviously, he's out tonight. I do raise my eyebrow at that.
Well,
I do, and that's
the
fair.
DeAndre Swift. Jacob Verana.
And that's a great comp.
Your DeAndre Swift.
Is Jacob Verana the DeAndre Swift of the Red Wings, T-Foss?
He is. Very talented guy. Can be productive, but you need him in your lineup. And D-Mac, I wanted to address something. You mentioned that the wings, you just said they didn't have to be as tough. I mean, they were something about toughness.
No, I said that Sherratt adds the fact he adds that
Okay.
sandpaper and that toughness so that
I think the whole team is tougher from this standpoint. Not that I'm going to come out here and beat your ass and put you in a headlock, but last year, toughness can be mental toughness. A lot of times the Wings would give up some fluke goal, and you think nothing about it, and the next thing you know, they're like, woe is me, what's going on here? And they would just stink for like 10 minutes, and you know, one goal turns into 2 goals, and then 3 goals, and they don't get it back. Mental toughness is very important in sports too, particularly with this team, and so far, it's just 2 games. You don't see them falling apart when somebody scores.
mental toughness, I think that, right, it's contagious to the fact where, to Spencer's point about Dylan Larkin being conscious about being in the right spot in the system, that mental toughness is a huge part of it. I think you bring up a great point, Terry. 1 goal doesn't lead to 2, 3, or 4, right? They're able to nip it in the bud so far early. Now, you're losing, look what's out of the lineup tonight, arguably 60 goals, right? In Bertuzzi and Verana. Well, Kubelik's moved up to the first line, right? Zadina's come in to play the third line, which means he's going to be playing 13, 15 minutes, which is what he needs to play. We're going to find out if the depth that we're talking about, right, and if it doesn't hurt this team and having these guys with Suter moving into the fourth line, this is exactly how the season will play out. You don't want to miss guys, but you're going to have to miss guys. And in the past, I don't think we had the experience, right, or the talent, you know, to jump in there and to be effective. But I expect this system, this machine to keep rolling. That's what you want, right? All your sports teams. And I think that the Wings are the closest to continue to roll out that team night after night that plays consistently. What you're talking about, Terry, with mental and physical, like the mental part, is consistency. That's the professional part that separates the boys from the men.
In a WoodwardSports.com chat thread, CJ Schneider says they easily could have fallen apart after the Devils tied 10 seconds after the Wings took the lead and Burt was hurt, but they didn't. And that was one of those moments that I looked at, Terry, where we saw the team, they imploded at times last. Let's just call it what it was. They imploded at times last year. And that's why, again, that little PTSD from last year kicked in for me watching that game, where I thought, is this going to be the moment where it all comes crumbling down? And not only did it not crumble, they dominated from that moment on in the game. Dominated on the road.
That's a different level too, right?
That's totally different.
You cover basketball, you cover soccer, you cover sports, right? Momentum's a huge thing in sports, right? How many times do we see it in football? You see it all over. Last night, good teams get ahead, other teams come back, it gets down to it, it's back and forth. Good teams make one mistake, and then they learn from it, and they don't compound it into another.
D-Mac, this is on your line right here. Andrew Boudreau says, it just looks like a more competent team.
There it is.
And you know,
competence is met there. To your point, what Terry's talking about is the mental part of it, is the competent part of it, right? It's something that, you got, like you said, on brand to the names that put the puck in that early in the season. How often will we be sitting here 2 weeks in going, is this guy going to score his first goal? This guy going to get his first touchdown? When's he going to get his first, double-double? Stuff like that. We don't have to worry about that. That, to me, is the consistency and a team that it's not a misnomer. What are we going to get tonight? Oh, they're playing this team. Oh, wow, they look like world beaters. Oh, next night, inconsistent, they get blown out by Arizona. No, I don't think that's where we're at. I think this is the consistency we'll see more of the year. And early in the season, honestly, Neal, if you're going to have some injuries or guys being out, I think it's the perfect storm, right? It's great for Zadina. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'd check, and if you're gambling, oddstrader.com, check out to see what Zadina anytime goal. I mean, it's just the way.
You're lathering all the way up, D-Mac.
No, because I think that
D-Mac overcooked himself right there. A little bit.
I go with it. I might go with it, but I'm excited. I'm excited, not overexcited. I see somebody in the chat thread going, whoa, wow, yeah, this playoffs are we make no. But if you consistently play like this and consistently be there and put this out every night, then you're going to be in the argument to get in the playoffs. And this team that we're watching the first 2 games is a playoff team.
They look like a playoff team.
That's a playoff team. That's a team that you want as a fan going into the playoffs.
And I'm not trying to oversell this.
Playoffs?
I know it's a Monday night game, the 3rd game into an 80-plus game schedule, T-Foss. But in that respect,
must win.
yeah. I'm dropping the edict down right now. They have to overcome and win this game, or it's all fugazi. All of it's over.
Get some help.
Plant your flag tonight on this Red Wings team. No, but it is. Look, T-Foss, for me, again, not being grandiose, it is interesting storyline to me. Not having Verana, Bertuzzi's out. How do they adjust? A game, you should beat the LA Kings at home. T-Foss, that's. I don't want to say I'm overselling it or I'm planting a flag or drawing a line in the sand. It will be interesting. It's an interesting storyline to see how they bounce back.
Well, you are putting a flag in the sand. But here's my warning. 2 games. There's going to be points where a younger team is going to fall apart after 1 goal, is going to have a bad stretch, is going to look crappy on the road. That just happens to everybody. What you have to do is minimize that as much as possible. So, please don't call this a must-win tonight.
I'm not saying it's a must-win, Terry. It's an interesting storyline to me to see how do you bounce, how do you adjust when you have to go to your depth, right? Which that's supposed to be the strength of the team now versus the ultimate weakness that it was last year. Here's our first taste of it. Is that fair?
That is fair.
That's fair. Real quick, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Juices Ghost. Wait, I didn't think about this until his half a natty comment. Is Neal an effing Buckeye? See, why does it always come back? No, Juice, because the fact remains.
He's a Grizzly.
Yeah, you won a half a national title since the 40s.
Yeah.
I know that triggers folks, but you can go look it up. Right? Is that true?
It is.
Sam Fly, is that 100% truth?
Unfortunately, it is true. But they played well enough to earn a national championship. They were undefeated. Rose Bowl. Should have had it all to themselves.
Right. Okay. Everybody calm down.
And you're a Golden Grizzly.
100%.
Did you just say, did you just call tonight's game a must-win?
100%. Yeah, if they do not win this, I want Yzerman out. I want Lalonde fired.
You want a bold statement or whatever, and I said this.
I want Verana traded.
This year, enjoy what we're seeing, whatever else, and if they
listen to this comment right here.
If they play this way, right, they are a playoff team, right? We have to find that consistency. This year's about last couple games of the year. If we win these games, we can get the wild card. Next year, right? It's playoffs or bust, or else right? If this team isn't ahead and one of those playoff teams and making the run, then I will have things to say about that. My boy, hashtag Eyes are playing 1919. I will question it. But until the clock runs out, until this season, is still a bonus, and I'm not worried about it.
A little bit of a free roll this year. It
is, and it has to have been. First year with the coach, implement all this different stuff, new guys coming in, figuring out the contracts, all this stuff because of the war chest, the draft capital.
That's D-Mac's take. That's not mine. If they lose tonight, if they lose tonight, I want Yzerman fired. I want Lalonde out. I want Verana traded. I want Larkin out of town. It's time to reboot. If they lose tonight, this is must-win on Monday night, Game 3 of the season.
Remember, I'm next year. Neal's all about the now.
Tonight!
Can we cut that up, please? Somebody retweet that.
Unbelievable.
He's unbelievable, right?
He's on fire.
Is it his Wolverine hatred that is as thwarted as...
No, it's my desire for a free Woodward Sports t-shirt.
Well, that's cool. That's Big Frog. You can all have them. Go there. Big Frog Nova, get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long. Big Frog in Novi, stop in, tell them we sent you. They'll print you one up right on the spot. Go to Big Frog Novi today, get your free t-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, Baked potato fries? Nacho fries? What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Time to talk about Swiss. Not Hammond Swiss, Swiss Insurance Group. Did you know that 1 in 6 kids will develop a medical condition that makes them uninsurable? Swiss Insurance can save you money on your auto and home, resulting in no out-of-pocket cost to insure your children. Check with Mark at Swiss Insurance and make sure your family is protected.
Coming up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, Darren McCarty here in the house. Happy to have you all with us. We got Sam Flannel, we got Spencer Raxter also, and just having a good time today. I got a little bothered about the Lions over the weekend, but Saturday was awesome. I don't remember a day, T, where you had all this going on. Like the Alabama-Tennessee game was coming down to the end. The Padres eliminating the Dodgers. 111 wins for the Dodgers. Are they gone? They out?
Yep.
All of that, everything. USC going on brand and losing on the road. Lincoln Riley.
The Yankees trying to choke.
The Yankees tried to choke. But it was awesome on set. I gave up trying to keep up with everything.
Well,
I couldn't even do it.
I think Terry nailed it when we were talking pre-show as far as that all of this is that what get lost in the shuffle that was exciting as anything was the Major League Baseball playoffs. And I'm wearing my Padres hat. Thanks, Reg, for bringing it back because that's my West Coast team. See the Padres beat the Dodgers. I love Will Myers, the longest tenured San Diego Padre. If you see going in, buying 100 shots at the bar with him and his wife, going to the next bar, buying everybody's shot. I love that stuff, right? Because that means the culture and stuff. But there's some big games. You look at the Yankees in Cleveland taking it to the limits, stuff. So, yeah, I guess baseball would be the least thing that I watch, Terry, and stuff like this. But on Saturday night and even into Sunday, like watching teams that I expect to be better than, but to see them get it done gave me, yes, I had frustration, but it gave me hope. It did. It really.
And the thing is,
it gave
college
me some sort of
football
hope.
has
But
been
I also
so
have a
compelling.
clock, so I'm allowed to hope.
And so is the
you
NFL,
wanna
except
come over
on
to
Thursday.
To the clock side, you know what? You got 12 more games, so you don't have to be as upset as any of these guys.
What did you say, T? I'm sorry.
I said, the college football has been so compelling. So is the NFL, except on Thursday nights, that sometimes you forget about baseball.
Because
I
you
love
mentioned
playoff
that. Yeah.
everything.
Right.
But I really haven't been able to get into it because I can't turn this football game off. It's not 38-7.
And that's what I've noticed too. It's just there's been no room at the end for the Major League Baseball playoffs.
Right.
Especially on the weekend. I don't know why they do that.
But look at
you got no shot, Major League Baseball, none.
There's like 2 minutes here. Talk baseball a minute.
Sure.
Because and obviously Councilman Pelosi out in San Diego and stuff like this. But to me, I mean, it's exciting. The Padres, the Phillies, the young team, the Machados, the Sotos, the haters. Then you go to the Bryce Harpers, the Reese Myers, all these guys, or Hoskins. All these different guys, new teams, something new for this fan and this organization.
And then there's the old Houston Astros.
Well, right, exactly. But I'm talking
Are they still banging the drum over there?
Is going to make it to the dance. What I'm saying for their fan base is that's what's something. So that's what excites me about it.
Well, you do have it though. You have the established brand. I want the Yankees to win so bad tonight because I want the Astros to destroy them yet again.
Okay, that's fair.
That's why, and I want the pain for the Yankees fans. I want to see it. I want to see it on their face.
If the Astros win the World Series this year without Correa, without Springer, without Brantley,
without Verlander, because he never wins in the World Series.
All right, calm down.
Well, again, it's a fact.
If they do, is that does that remove the besmirchment? Is that a
100%,
word? Does it,
yeah.
does that valid?
Does it, Terry?
No, it doesn't.
No?
You talking about, no, that will never go away.
Even if they do it again without half of the guys that were there?
Won't.
No,
It
because
won't,
the same
because
guy's there and the culprit's there.
That's a stench.
Altuve's
That's
there.
a huge
Altuve,
stench that's
Bregman, yeah.
on your permanent record. That will never go away.
Yordan Alvarez is... That dude's something
But
else.
I bet you there's so many more people like Neal out there that don't give a crap and want the Astros to face the Yankees and pummel the Yankees. Like there's that fan base too, right?
Yes.
That's seriously, as excited as I am for the Phillies, Padres to see one of those teams go out. Your excitement is that the Yankees win tonight and then get drubbed by the Astros.
I just want the Yankees to lose always.
Yeah, but won't it be better, though?
But I don't know if they, like... The Yankees can beat the Astros.
No, but they can't, and they know it. They can't beat them.
They can. They can beat them this year.
No, they can't.
Hey, Garrett Cole has pitched pretty well in the ALDS. He's been kind of one of the culprits, being kind of playoff choker Garrett Cole, and he stepped up. You got to give him credit for that, at least so far.
At least,
when you see a Cole and Verlander duel, oh yeah,
a 10-run game in the fifth,
5-5.
Come on, Justin Verlander has had some great ALCS and ALDS performances.
Yeah,
you guys
as long as he's pitched against the A's, yeah, it's been fine.
Hey, he pitched pretty well one game against the Dodgers in the 2017 World Series, and they lost like 3-1. That's not Justin Verlander's fault.
I know. Even though he's never left a World Series game better than he found it. That's hate, though. I know that's being hateful.
That's a quality start, Neal. I think that's better than you
All
found
the
it.
quality start.
Quality
When you leave the
starts ain't
game, if you're
winning.
losing,
It's not winning.
yeah. When you leave the game, if your team's losing, you did not leave the game better than you found it because it was tied when you found it.
What if you're losing 1-0 and you pitch 7 innings?
You gave up
run?
one.
Oh dear
you,
God.
you were the second best pitcher in the park. That
Then it's
night.
I guess it's the pitcher's fault, not the offense for not scoring any runs. It's just that pitcher for giving up that one run.
You at least got to match what the other guy's doing, man.
Jesus Christ!
If you don't give up any runs, you can't lose.
Pitching a shutout's hard.
The other pitcher was able to do it.
It's really hard to pitch a shutout in the major leagues against Major League Baseball hitters. That's a fact.
No doubt.
I mean,
almost
they
impossible.
did it for
Yeah, but I've seen it
18
done.
innings the other night. These 6-hour
But you know,
game.
I'm sort of glad it's not in it anymore. The Dodgers, because they had that little arrogance out there that they were going to blow through this whole thing. The LA Times, someone wrote in the LA Times when the regular season was over, may as well skip the playoffs. The Dodgers are going to win this easily. That's that LA arrogance.
And that is true. And you know what? When you reverse engineer the Dodgers, and this is why I don't believe in the Yankees. When you reverse engineer the Dodgers, give me the pitching staff that was going to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
There's no hammers
the
out there.
Dodgers and the Yankees are the West Coast and East Coast version of each other. Now
Yeah.
that the Dodgers are back to the top, so it's that either love them or you hate them.
Probably, arguably, their best pitcher all season long got hurt at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it was a wrap.
Kershaw ain't what he used to be.
No, like Kershaw's mid now.
Yeah.
Like he's the most mid of the quote good pitchers.
Still Matt Stafford's best friend though.
He is.
Yeah, Matt Stafford used to catch for him, if you guys didn't know. But their one pitcher they had that beat up his girlfriend, or I can't remember his name.
Trevor Bauer?
Trevor Bauer, yeah. He was probably the best pitcher, and then he went crazy.
Yeah, and that's why just when you look at it, like with the Astros, I think 1 through 5 or 1 through 3, best starting pitchers of anybody that's left, and their lineup will grind you. Their lineup will score on you.
Yeah.
They will find a way. I know everybody hates him and thinks he cheats and stuff. I guess he did cheat. And Jose Altuve, he's still doing it somehow. They're going to find a way to score runs. They just do.
Wouldn't it be nice for Dusty Baker to finally get a World Series? A guy who's been kind of the bridesmaid so many times. I actually want that for Dusty Baker.
I'm kind of like rooting for the Astros this year. Like,
See, I am too.
Out of the teams that are left, it's like I like the Astros. I don't, love them. Obviously, the cheating thing was ridiculous. As shame on them. But if they do it this year, that's more.
I think the
power to them.
Padres are going to be America's team, though.
I
Like
like
the
the
Slam Diego.
But I like Tatis, man. I want to see
How about the
Tatis
geese?
in there.
The goose. Bringing the goose
Yeah.
back.
Yeah,
People-
Bradley
it's
Goose.
like the
People
goat.
ragging
I
on
love
them
it.
mostly because of their uniforms suck.
You're right. You're right. I mean, I'm not usually like absolutely not.
Their uniforms are so bad that they're good, though, man.
Oh, that's the ugly baby that's so ugly it's cute?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Let me tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. They got a new podcast, everyone. It's called This is the S Word. It helps spread awareness, not only of the fentanyl and stuff like we've talked about in the past, but also about the stigma of seeking mental help. That's right. It's hard to admit for a lot of people out there. Sports Marketing Agency trying to help the folks out there. Go to thesportsma.com if you're struggling, or if you know someone that's struggling. Thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know, you've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. 2 different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play, as well as private lane reservation for $120 if you get thirsty. They have a $2 mystery beer vending machine or multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. Make sure you come check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here in the building. Happy to have everybody here with us today. Tap into that woodwardsports.com chat thread. Get your thoughts out there as well. Trash Can Man says, Neal just hates everything that's Detroit. I would disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean, you're wearing all Pistons gear today.
Well, I know it's crazy that I would have preferred that Verlander won a game in the World Series. Like that does leave a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
It does, and that's fair. I think that's fair because at some point, like Dombrowski got all this hate, right? He assembled all that team. At some point, like they got to perform to win.
Yeah,
they do. I think it's fair. No.
No,
you're looking down.
I think it's fair. I just love Verlander, so I don't want to smut him.
But I would have liked for him, and he, to this day, he still never won a game in the. He's like 0-6 with a 6.5 ERA. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
It's fair. That's what it is.
It is fair.
Don't go Michigan fan on me.
No,
right now,
it is fair. It is fair. I just love Verlander, like I said.
That's it. That's it. I just would have preferred that he won a game in the World Series. I think that's fair. But anyway, we are back at it. And look, the college football weekend, we're going to talk to Spenny in a few minutes about it. Michigan State got a win.
Big win.
Kept the bowl hopes alive, at least for another few days, Spenny.
Hold on a sec. Did you play PS2 like you said?
I was playing PS2.
How did it go down? Because Spencer got out there and he was adamant that Sparty wasn't going to ruin his day. He's not going to watch it.
Did you cave?
I caved.
Yeah! See, I knew he would.
Did you play the PS2 though?
I did play PS2.
Before the game?
Before the game, yeah.
And when did you cave? Bring us down.
I caved at halftime, and I turned it on.
Why? Because you turned the score, and the score was close?
No, I didn't even look at the score. I was just like, I'll throw it on.
Curiosity got the best of you.
Were you happy you did?
I was happy I did.
Okay, lesson to the kids out there.
Now, was the Michigan State game an impressive victory?
No. It was... No.
Why are you being such a Michigan State hater?
Leave these guys alone. They're searching for anything right now. So the fact that I see actually the blood pressure go up on my boy Spencer when it comes to his Sparties. Do you not remember what we've been dealing with for the past 3 weeks in that booth there? This is the biggest Sparty fan that I know, and one of the ones that's down to earth as far as realizing whether it's his basketball team or his football team, what he has, and he was done with them.
Yeah.
He pulled out the PS2, guys.
I did.
Played it till half. I'm glad you came back. I'm glad you got a little bit. Like, don't break it down. They're not world beaters. They're not even bowl contenders and stuff like this. They got to win. Congratulations.
I didn't want these clowns to get on, and I'm talking about you too.
Okay.
Get on here saying, "Oh yeah, that was an impressive win." Wisconsin's a fine ball club after trashing Michigan for beating Penn State by 29 points.
Mel Tucker scared me in that game.
Why?
Because he almost lost the game for us, single-handedly.
See, they got lost in the wash for me on Saturday. There was just too much going on. And when I waved the white flag, that was the one that got cut
He called
out.
some really bad timeouts at the end of the game. There was like 30 seconds left. Ran a play. He had 2 timeouts.
Kenny coach.
Ran a play, called the timeout. Ran another play, called the timeout on 3rd down. So there was 12 seconds left, no timeouts. It's 3rd down. And he runs a bubble screen on 3rd down. They catch it. He gets tackled in the backfield. So there's no timeouts left. You can't spike the ball. And so they have to run the kicking team out there, get the snap off. Snap gets fumbled. They don't get the kickoff. And they almost lost it. Like that, they should have won the game there. They should have won the game in the first overtime, which was a dropped interception. So that's not on Mel Tucker. But at the end of regulation, that was all Mel Tucker, and I was visibly upset. Like, I was screaming at my TV. You got to hold on to one of those timeouts. You can't throw the ball behind the sticks on 3rd down with no timeouts. That was absolutely
But he's just going to play PS2.
Right.
No, but listen to him, though. So, Spenny, great job. You're going to enjoy this victory, whatever, but absolutely, there are still... This didn't solve anything. There's big issues there. Might be even more issues, but you're not going to deal with them right now. You're just going to enjoy the win.
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Good.
I'm going to take it because I got it.
You can go out. You can go out.
Okay, D-Mac, okay.
Let him.
Because you asked.
Thank you.
And Mel
You know what?
Tucker,
I was at a little get-together yesterday, and my Sparty brother-in-laws were talking about the game. And I'm
Did
just
they call it
sitting
a big win?
Huh?
Did they call it a big win?
Oh, they were excited about the crowd. They were excited they won, and I couldn't help. I stayed silent, but I was just thinking, who cares? I mean, really?
we care, Terry.
Why?
Because we don't want to lose 7 in a row.
Okay.
But Mel Tucker should buy Jaden Reed and Keon Coleman Lamborghinis after that game because they won that game. Jaden Reed threw a ball to Keon Coleman, which should have got picked off in the end zone, and Keon Coleman went up there, mossed his man, got the touchdown.
See, like, why not more of that?
I don't know.
Why not more of that?
know.
I've never understood that.
Yeah, me either.
If I'm going down, I'm going down
swinging
with my dude, with the dudes.
Yes. Well, Jaden Reed's been hurt for the majority of the season.
Yeah, which I get. I understand that. But I mean, when he's playing, Coleman, you're getting the ball 22 times a game, man.
Yeah.
Like, look at Utah's tight end, had 16 catches against USC.
Yeah, I would throw
Far
him,
away their best player.
I would throw him the ball every single play. He is an NFL receiver. Like, the guy is legit. And it was good to have Jaden Reed back because he is explosive. He does a lot. It was really good to have Xavier Henderson back. We needed something on that back end of the defense. And Xavier Henderson was, the preseason guy, preseason All Big Ten. He was a guy that was supposed to play very well. He obviously got injured early, and he just came back. I'm happy. I didn't think he was going to be back at all this year. So to see him back out there, to see him making plays, I miss my guy X, and it was good to have him out there.
Hey, this is real. I'm not even trolling. Are you excited at all that they held Graham Mertz to 131 passing yards?
No.
I know it's Graham Mertz, but still, that's 131 yards.
No, I am. And I am, because I expected Graham Mertz to go out there and go for 250.
No, you should be excited about that because everybody's been lighting up that secondary.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's Graham Mertz,
I honestly think it
doesn't matter.
But they were getting lit up by guys you don't even know.
Tanner Morgan.
You know that
Morgan,
guy. I even
yeah.
know that guy's name. So small
It's
victories.
Graham Mertz, though.
But,
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right,
it's
though.
better
From
than
what
getting
we've
lit
seen
up by
recently
Graham
from that
Mertz.
defense.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. Could be Neal Ruhl back there.
Not
shutting
even
down.
MSU's defense can succumb to Graham Mertz.
They were looking like they could have early. And I'm telling you, Xavier Henderson being back played a big factor in that. Like, if he wasn't back, Graham Mertz probably goes for 200 plus. But he was back there. He's calling the defense. He's making plays.
Graham Mertz.
I mean, yeah, it's.
If Graham Mertz would have went for 250,
it could have been Grandma back there.
Yeah. Grandma Mertz.
Yeah.
Hey, if he would have went for 250, then you should have shut your program
Yes,
down.
100%.
On the spot.
100%.
Drafted a letter, said, with all due respect, we are withdrawing from the rest of the football season due to Graham Mertz passing for 250 yards on us.
To all white guys.
We'll see you. We'll see you next year.
To 7 white receivers. I was like, Jesus, Wisconsin. Like, I understand, but man, you got to get some skill players out there.
Oh, Graham Mertz. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jake Wegener. Neal is just a pessimist who veils his pessimism as realism by linking his takes to shallow facts. All right, I'm going to stop there. Shallow facts. Is there such a thing as shallow facts?
I don't think so. I think there's facts and there's not facts.
Right? Can we, Sam Flannel, you and I, we're at the opposite ends of the spectrum. Is there such a thing as shallow facts?
There are facts that lack context, and I think that's more what he's talking about.
Also known as facts?
Hey, it is fact that, and I'm going to go back to Justin Verlander, against the Dodgers in Game 6 of the 2017 World Series, he pitched 6 innings, 2 earned runs, and they lost 3-1. That is still a good performance.
Yep. And he was the second
Mickey
best
Lawrence
starter.
won 3 games in the '68 World Series, and he pitched complete games.
Which never gets the credit in the annals of baseball that it should. That should be like...
That's one of the greatest.
Beat Bob Gibson.
And beat in St. Louis.
And beat Bob Gibson.
Yeah, I know.
Mickey Lolich should be celebrated for that alone. He should be. But, yeah, he was the second best starter in the stadium that day, wasn't he?
Hey, and that's fair, but he pitched well. He pitched well enough to win. And I do actually agree with you about Mickey Lolich. He should be celebrated more because as Tigers only, I think you can make an argument that Mickey Lolich had a better career than Justin Verlander if you don't factor in Justin Verlander's years on the Astros. Because he's pitched the best baseball of his career with Houston.
Right.
But that's
Mickey
the whole
Lolich
thing.
wasn't
I
even
think
the
what
best
we're nailing
pitcher
it
on
with
his
is the
staff
guy's a perennial, Cy Young winner. One of the best that we've been told that we've seen is that you got to win the big game or you got to pitch in the big game and do it. We've seen other guys go out and do it that are supposed
and that's
to do
why
it.
you guys want hot take for this last 2 minutes. That's why, to me, Mickey Lolich had more of an impact on the Tigers franchise than Justin Verlander did.
Well, I kind of just said it a minute ago. If we're just talking as Tigers, I think that's fair.
More of an impact. Terry, do you agree with that?
Yeah, he single-handedly won a World Series.
Beat Bob Gibson.
Right, beat Bob Gibson and pitched with 2 days rest. It was crazy. He kept thinking he was coming out every inning, and Mel Smith said, "Nah, go back for another one."
Yeah,
you good?
So he's incredible. AC, who'd you take, Scherzer or Verlander?
Scherzer.
Yeah,
Scherzer. That pit bull, and he's won big games. That mentality. You know what you're going to get with Mad Max.
Yep.
Every time. So.
But I think what happened, Verlander became our guy. It's like he was the face of the franchise, even though he may not have been the best pitcher. It's like at some point Al Kaline was the guy for the Tigers, Isaiah Thomas was the guy for the Pistons, and Justin Verlander was the guy for the Tigers, even though he may not have been the best player. But he was the guy that we viewed as the franchise.
You can't say he's not. He won an MVP Cy Young. Like, he won multiple Cy Youngs. Like, the guy was the best pitcher on the team. He might not have done it in the World Series, but he was the best pitcher on the team.
You know what? Go get your regular season trophies, bro.
Yeah.
Go be that friggin'.
Hey, how much?
Hey, you know what? Great. Go do that. But if that's important.
D-Mac, if you're on a long drive.
It's about winning.
If you're on a long drive sometime, D-Mac, or you're brushing your teeth, looking in the mirror, do you look back to that President's Trophy in 1995? To that President's Trophy in 1995?
It's just like the same thing when people clap at my comedy show. Oh, you won 62 games in 95, 96. Shut your face. We lost in the conference finals.
Do you hold that close to your bosom?
You know what that President's Trophy is good for? It's got a little dish on the top, and if you don't have a rolling tray, sometimes you can use that little dish for a tray. So that's all it's good for.
Right.
I don't even know what the base
wanted
of the
to touch
thing
that
is.
trophy.
No one cares about regular season. I mean, they're great. Listen, I get it. This is just me talking, right? And I've been fortunate enough. I won OHL Player of the Year last year, junior. The year Kirk Maltby had 50 goals in junior, but Darren McCarty had 55. Right, Maltz? Anyways, that's great. And you love the accolade that you're seeing, but at the end of the day, you know who your story's with? Yourself. Hey, way to go, D. Oh, yeah, you had all your teammates. And your teammates that helped you win this award, they're great for it, but it's nothing like having a team championship that 25 years later, like it's going on at LCA November 3rd and 5th, where you're going to have a 25-year anniversary of your 97, 98, and have all your boys come in and still tell stories and get together and talk about things that happened 25 years ago that you share. So,
yeah, I'm not saying he's more important than Mickey Lolich. But that year, you know, Terry said he wasn't the best pitcher on the. He was.
I said player.
He was voted the best player in baseball in the American League. He was
but
voted
that's
the best
cool.
pitcher
But it still
in the
doesn't
American
answer
League.
the fact of can you get it done in the playoffs? And you know what? Here's the thing.
That's not what I'm saying.
Neal, here's the question: if Justin Verlander pitches well, like he can, what does that mean for the Astros? How much more of an opportunity they have to win if he pitches well? They've won without him pitching well or whatever like this.
And if the Tigers averaged more than 2 runs per game against the Giants, then they would have won a World Series.
Thank you. If the Tigers could feel that the ball with their pitchers and not made errors, they would have won.
It's not all on Verlander. They couldn't do anything
AC,
against that.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. AC, Spencer is a Verlander slappy.
I am 100%.
See, that's where I give Spence credit.
Yeah,
he lays it out
wholeheartedly,
online.
admittedly. Verlander was my favorite player growing up. I love Verlander.
D-Mac, there's a lot of places you could go to get a regular season haircut. But if you want a World Series haircut...
What you're asking me, Neal, is where would you go to get that playoff intensity, postseason mentality, haircut, even during the regular season? Maybe on a must-win NHL Game 3 of the season, where are you going to go? Well, today, I would go to Lady Jane's, 168 them all through the country. And today, if you come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning experience, register for once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home. Not one, but $200,000. Yes, $200,000 worth your down payment for your mortgage. So Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Make sure you register. It's wicked awesome. Big D Energy. Be right back.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Time to talk about Mike Phillips. Not Lou Diamond Phillips, Mike Phillips. Thursday, October 27th, join the Armani and Edwards with Maz show live in Dearborn. Braylon, Ryan, and Maz will be on site at Michael Phillips' Keller William office in Dearborn. Braylon will be doing a meet and greets after the show at 4:30, and stick around for Trunk or Treat in the Keller Williams parking lot at 6 p.m. Food trucks, costumes, and more. All from Mike Phillips and his wonderful staff at Keller Williams.
Not Lou Diamond.
Can we get Maz to dress up as like Andy Reid for Halloween or something like that?
We need it.
No, he should dress up as the Penguin.
Yeah.
He should.
Like the one from like the Batman?
Yeah.
Or like one from the
Like the old,
No.
the old one.
Old
though.
Batman.
Like Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Burgess. There you go.
No,
back
like
to the
Burgess
TV show.
Meredith, the original TV show.
Adam West.
Yeah, gives a little cigarette with the little thing.
Hold it. With the eyepiece.
Yeah.
The singular eyepiece.
I'll even buy it.
All right, I like it. Woodward Sports. Big D Energy, Neal Ruhl, Terry Foster, D-Mac, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, back
Now, Neal,
with
can you tell us, what did Justin Verlander do to Milton Bradley?
Oh, he struck Milton Bradley out all the time.
Okay.
All Coco was it
The
Coco
game
Crisp?
guy.
Yeah, not Coco Crisp. The guy for the A's, Coco.
Yeah, it's Coco Crisp.
It was Coco Crisp.
Right.
Right? Yeah, that's right. Coco Crisp, Milton Bradley. What? Those guys scored like 1 run in every playoff game they ever played in that whole time. The Oakland A's. I bet I'm not too far off.
Because Justin Verlander shut them down.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the ALCS 2012 against the Yankees? Justin Verlander, 8 1/3, 1 run, and a 2-1 win. I know that's not the World Series. That is the ACL. ALCS. That's important.
And that was big time. That's one.
Yes.
That's against the
How many
Yankees
World
team,
Series
too.
games did the Tigers win? They won 1 game and 2 World Series.
And that one, Kenny Rogers won.
Right.
Kenny Rogers wasn't the second best pitcher in the park that day.
Nope, he wasn't.
Therefore, Kenny Rogers is greater than Justin Verlander. That's
in World Series lore for the Tigers.
Oh, dear Lord. Okay, fine.
I'm sorry, that's a shallow fact.
That is kind of a shallow fact.
I was there. I saw it. I saw it happen.
That's all right. That's fair.
Did it not happen?
It did happen.
It happened, right? It happened?
It did.
Okay.
I liked Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers is the man.
Okay. Just Bills. Verlander got rocked at the All-Star game, LOL. He did. He always did, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. We're talking All-Star games now.
I'm just saying he always did, though.
He did. He just went to the All-Star game and see if he could pitch at 100 miles an hour.
You can't do what Verlander did in his games in the All-Star game. In the All-Star game, you don't have to start. You can't do what Verlander does, which is go out in the first inning and throw 93, get your feet set, and then in the 9th inning, you're pumping 102 mile per hour fastballs after you already have 114 pitches thrown that night. He can't do that in the All-Star game. You got to go out there and throw it all on the line. That's what, that about Verlander is what enamored me. Is he would get better as the game goes on.
Unless it was a World Series.
Shut up.
Now here's what I remember about Verlander. Give all the foul balls, which pushed his pitch count to like 90 after 3 innings.
He always had 102 pitches in the 5th inning.
It's like, damn, another foul ball. Damn, can't you get somebody out?
You remember when Scherzer could never pitch a complete game?
Yeah, I do remember that.
And now he just does it all the time. It's crazy.
AC, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Matt Stafford never choked in the All-Star game. Pro Bowl MVP.
Yeah, oh, God. Pro Bowl's the biggest joke in sports.
It did happen, though. It did. It did happen. I'm just saying. Let's go back to the Michigan game, Sam Flannel, et al. I got a critical question for everybody. And we got to strike while the iron's hot here. Because I want to know. And I know everyone's a little juiced up, so there may be skewed here. WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Can Michigan win the national championship?
Well, I mean,
Will Michigan win the national championship?
Will or can they?
Will. Will Michigan win the national championship? Sam Flannel, make your answer public.
I'm not going to say that they will just yet, but they have an ingredient that is a non-negotiable. They have the best offensive line in college football that got better from the offensive line from last year. They have a running game that proved that they could dominate a good team to the tune of 418 rushing yards. And also, for all you want to say about J.J. McCarthy, he did not play great in the last game throwing the football, but he finally showed that added dimension of running.
Was it enough to gain ground in the Heisman race?
Well, he's not in the Heisman race anymore, obviously. He didn't do enough, but he did
Wait a minute. That's not what you said. We're running out of seats in New York now because you're going to have Corum there. You're going to have JJ there. Jake Moody has entered the chat.
Hey, I'll tell you what about Jake Moody in all seriousness. How great does it feel as Michigan fans, talking to all the Michigan fans in the chat, that we have a reliable kicker?
He's an NFL kicker.
Absolutely.
Well,
Detroit Lions.
Can he just walk on down to Allen Park or maybe what?
Can he just quit school?
Which is another question for another day, but has, the kicker, he's so much more important, especially, you're looking at college and in the NFL, but to have one, that's a weapon, Sam. You look at it and you it's like we used to look at here is that, we had, Jason Hansen and Matt Prater or whatever in your back pocket, and then when you don't have a guy that does that, I mean, it makes you wonder. So
Lions should sign him now.
Yeah, just quit school.
You're right.
Roll right over.
Yeah, pay him more than Michigan is with NIL. They can afford that. Oh, Neal, they may not be able to do that, according to you, Mr. Salary Cap guy.
No, they
won't have enough money.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the union rules are. Maybe I have to go to Robert Colosio. Can you just You have to go through the draft process, right?
Yeah, I think
you would
so.
have to declare for the draft, or no? Or could you just peace out?
I think you have to declare for the draft.
He could leave and go to the CFL right now, right?
Yeah, I think you have to be 1 year removed.
Is that what it is?
Something like that. Yeah.
That's an interesting question.
He can't just jump pro, but if he could, the Lions should sign him.
Yes.
How about that?
AC says no. They had their greatest defense ever last year and got rolled on.
I'll tell you what, though, this defense is playing very well. They only gave up 10 offensive points to Penn State. Mike Morris is a problem.
Mike Morris is really good.
Mozzie Smith is a problem. Iyabi Oki is a beast. And how about Mike Sanderstill?
Sanderstill's playing
what
very
the
well.
hell was that guy doing at wide receiver for his first 3 seasons? He is such a natural as a defensive back for Michigan. So they have the defense. They have a dominant running game. Now we'll see if they can open up the offense a little bit when they need to. That's the biggest question. If they go in and beat Ohio State, I will absolutely call for them to win the national
Will
championship.
they beat Ohio State, yes or no?
Yeah, that's the start of the playoffs right
I
there.
am going to say yes because of how they can run the football and that up front, I don't think there's as much of a drop up from last season as I thought would be.
See, this is my point about it, though. Like, when you talk about running the football, you're not playing Iowa or Hawaii or Colorado State or Rutgers. You're not going to have that opportunity. Ohio State, if they get 3 possessions, they will score at least 1 touchdown. At least 1.
That's fair.
You don't get that pace, Sam Flannel.
That's fair, but if Michigan can hold them to like 27 like they did last year, or even 30, Michigan will still be able to run the football. They won't be playing from behind. And I think that that's where they can kill Ohio State. I think they're a little bit stronger up front, Ohio State, than they were last year. But this Michigan offensive line is better than last year's. Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards might be better as a duo than Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum.
I think they are.
Hey, Donovan Edwards is a beast, and Blake Corum has proven that he can be an every down back. So I think going into Ohio State, it's anybody's game, and Michigan has a very, very good chance if they can continue to run the ball like they have. And there's no reason why they can't.
I think what we saw this weekend is going to be bad news for Neal. We saw that Alabama is not Alabama, so they can be beaten. Georgia, I know they killed Vanderbilt, but damn, they were in a hell of a battle with Missouri, a couple weeks ago. I think some of the teams that you viewed as unbeatable, they can't beat them, they're a little bit closer to earth now. No one's going to fear Georgia. Nobody's going to feel bad.
See, but those are road games, though, Terry.
I understand
Everything we're
that.
talking about is road games.
But in the past, Alabama going to Tennessee and said, screw you guys. I don't care how good you think you are. We're going to smack you right upside the head.
Hendon Hooker is a beast.
Yeah, he definitely. You want to talk about a guy who upped his draft, or not his draft stock, but the Heisman.
Well, there's no seats left for him.
He's in New York right now.
No way.
Right. If it was today, he'd be in New York.
No way.
There's 2 Wolverines there.
Yeah.
You can't
Jake, whose seat's he taking? Jake Moody or J.J. McCarthy?
Nice to hey, Spats
Or Blake Corum.
got me too.
Yeah.
To the fact that I think it's tighter all throughout the league. To the fact to say right now on the same date, with the season going on, we haven't even played Ohio State. But just the fact that we're having the conversation and just the fact that you put up will, not can, you put up will, right?
Yeah.
I say no because of the odds. But you know what? If this Michigan team continues to play and they continue to show me they can run the ball, Ohio State's a test. I still believe you, Neal, that the fact that Michigan, with 1 loss in a close game to Ohio State, will get in the Final Four, that's when to reevaluate. But everything in college football is tightened up. Terry's point, he nailed it.
And that's
here's what I will say. For the first time in my life, I think somebody out of the Big Ten, Michigan, could win the national championship outside of Ohio State. I just thought these teams, the elite teams, Georgia, Alabama, when they were rolling, they were out of reach, talent-wise, schematics. They just were far superior. But I think now Georgia, Alabama, they're a little bit closer to everybody else. So I think, and it's close enough that Michigan can touch them now.
I just don't, because Michigan's got to play 3 straight, well, not straight, because if they win the Big Ten championship, but they have to play 3 college football playoff games to win the national championship. Ohio State being one of them, and then obviously the 2 if they get in the college football playoff. And none of them are at the Big House. So that for me is I can't say they will. They
And
can't.
but that's everybody.
That's an absolutely great point.
Especially when you haven't gone on the road and done it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one thing I will say. Michigan clearly has not played a great schedule this year, but at the end of the year, they do have probably the greatest road test out of any team in the nation going to Ohio State, and that's when we will actually see what they are made of. And if they show out and
I
win,
would say Tennessee playing at home against Alabama than having to go to Georgia in a couple weeks.
If they beat Georgia, they're number 1.
100%.
Yeah.
And they could take, so then they would be able to take an L and still get in.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They ain't beating Georgia. They ain't beating Georgia at Georgia.
They're not beating Georgia at Georgia. Well, I don't know. Georgia's look pretty. If you put Stetson Bennett in a vacuum with Hendon Hooker, I'm taking Hendon Hooker. You know, and so that dude. I can't remember his name, but Tennessee's wide receiver had 6 catches for 208 yards and 5 touchdowns against Alabama.
Right.
But see, that Booker doesn't become like an old Tennessee quarterback to beat Alabama. I got to go to Tennessee, and Bama used to beat Tennessee's ass in the 90s.
Just like Florida.
Yeah, right. Well, there was this quarterback named, I
will agree with Sam,
Kendrick Holloway. And what he was, he lost to Bama his freshman, sophomore, junior year. In his senior year, he finally beat Bama. He became a legend in that town. But what he also became is he became a drunk. So he was always at the bar, and people would buy him drinks, and he would tell you about the Bama victory. Condrich Holloway. We got to meet the guy. He was drunk, told us all about the Bama victory, and that was the highlight of his life. I hope this doesn't happen with Mr. Hooker.
Mr. Hooker is going to be a top 3 NFL draft pick when he comes out, so he doesn't have to worry about that. But I will agree with Sam Flannel. I think Michigan's offensive line is possibly the best unit in college football, over everything else. They're definitely the best offensive line in college football, but they might be
easy
the
when
best
the wind's at your back,
unit
man.
in college football.
It's a lot easier to run the football when the wind's at your back and you're playing for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They haven't faced any adversity. Can they do it with adversity?
Okay,
Facing
Neal,
adversity.
Question: is Michigan's offensive line good?
Is it good? Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Is it
Can
great?
it go to Columbus and win? Can it overcome? Can it face adversity?
Is it great?
We gonna see.
Okay.
Cintron, the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. They've combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. So why wait? Try Cintron's great tasting cranberry, classic and sugar-free all-in-one Red Wings themed package. Pre-order your Cintron 6-pack sampler box at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron, and let's go Red Wings.
Why wait?
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. Summer's come and gone. You pack on a couple of LBs, Custom Health Centers can take the willpower out of weight loss, where they need to lose 20 pounds or 120 pounds. Custom Health Centers can help you do it quickly and safely. Go to CustomHealthCenters.com or give them a call today, 844-789-THIN. That's 844-789-THIN. Coming down the stretch, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Happy to have you all with us. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. This one's pretty good here, D-Mac. It says, Spencer hyping up Hendon Hooker like Malik Willis last year.
Ooh, wait. Okay, let's take a little segment here on a Monday. Listen, Spence, where's your Hendon Hooker love so I can get a balance here to where you're Malik Willis?
Oh, I like him more than Malik Willis.
You like him more than Malik Willis? You're more set on.
I don't care about that. Hendon Hooker to the Lions?
No.
Okay, all right.
He can't come out this year, I don't think, right? He's a sophomore. I think he needs one more year. So
Malik's got, like, this is so head and shoulders above Malik.
Yeah, he did it against Bama, and he's going to do it against Georgia
next week.
next week.
Hooker Tennessee jersey? Maybe.
I kind of want to.
You kind of want to, right? It's
I
on,
did.
You put that in the shopping cart, right? And you left it in the window.
I said, 2 weeks ago or last week that because I'm out on MSU, I'm all in on Tennessee. And what do? They don't disappoint me. They go out there and beat Bama, and they're going to beat Georgia next week.
See, I look at you, Spenny, that you could rock any individual, like, because you rock players. It's the same thing you wear your Carmelo. Hendon Hooker could be the same way you're wearing your Tennessee today. It's your Malcolm Rodriguez, where you guys get on board to some of these young guys. So that's why you have a tendency to pick athletes in no matter what sport, which are good or something there's a storyline to it. You get behind.
Yeah, you should have seen. I wore my Duncan Keith jersey on Monday a couple weeks ago. I was getting lit up.
Of course
as you should.
Of course you were, but the thing is that you don't care. Like, the thing is, you're consistent to you. That's what I love. Keep being you.
That anchor on the Edmonton Oilers payroll.
Yeah.
Duncan Keith.
He was one of the best defensemen of his generation.
Yeah, like a decade ago.
Yeah, and he's old now. Spartan dog.
Yeah, don't worry, Ken Holland will take him.
Probably the best MSU
Ken Holland will take him and
in
overpay him.
the past 40 years.
Real
Spartan
quickly,
dog, shout out.
some breaking news, and this concerns your Spartans as well, Spence. Alejandro Zuniga reporting on Twitter, Michigan versus Michigan State will be a 7:30 p.m. kickoff on October 29th at the Big House. Yeah. So everybody get all worked up about that.
Well, I'm not going to that one.
Yeah, I don't know if you should play that game at night.
Why aren't you going to that one, Spenny?
Because I don't want to drive home at 3 in the morning. Well, I guess it's only like a 40-minute drive to Ann Arbor opposed to like an hour and a half to East Lansing.
It's not a 40-minute drive after the game, though.
No, yes.
Spenny, I got to ask you.
No.
Y'all are going to a funeral that night, aren't
for
you?
sure. We're getting absolutely body bagged. I said it at the beginning of the year.
There's going to be a lot of pent-up aggression in that one, too.
Yeah, I said it at the beginning of the year.
Look at Sam Flannel is tweaking right now. Yeah. He can't wait.
I don't think I've ever hated a team and wanted to beat a team so bad as a Michigan fan. Besides last year's Ohio State, than this year's Michigan State. I want to come in and talk all the pent-up crap that I've had, and I just haven't been able to do yet.
Watch them win.
And you know what? Michigan is doing a very smart thing. They're not being arrogant asses. They're not saying,
they are.
No, they're not. What's the first thing they said after beating Penn State?
Oh,
time to go to Michigan State. Usually they ignore State. They don't respect them. They're
you mean the Michigan players?
The Michigan players and the coaches are getting into it. That's where Michigan gets into trouble. They don't take this rivalry serious enough. Now it seems like they're taking this game seriously because they know that State can kick their ass if they're not careful.
No, we can't.
Now they are taking
all that's true except that last part.
Yeah, everything Terry just said.
No. Listen, fellas, Michigan always looks better than Michigan State in football.
Not this much better.
Stop it until they're on the same field. Then all of a sudden, Michigan State looks better than Michigan.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Go Blue says, I hate that. I hate that. Why?
Hate what?
The 7:30 kick time, I'm imagining.
I don't know. I like night games. I'm just not going to go to it.
No, they shouldn't have it at night because y'all don't know how to behave. They're going to be fighting and there's going to be a riot at that game.
They'll kind of go.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Your mom's favorite skater says, who else is tuning in from outside of the state of Michigan? I'm watching in Idaho here. We appreciate you tapping in. AC wants to know, so we'll turn to Sam Flannel for this one, D-Mac. Can we get a Michigan baseball update? How's Michigan baseball looking wrapping up fall ball?
I mean, it's tough because right now we're all locked in on football. This is the fall.
No. I was told when the College World Series rolls around, there's a lot of diehard Michigan baseball fans.
You have to remember something about Michigan fans. Michigan fans only turn to softball and baseball when the football and basketball team isn't doing anything. And right now, the football team is undefeated. They're going home to play Michigan State. They're playing them at home and probably going to go into Ohio State 11-0. So nobody cares about baseball right now.
D-Mac.
What about the Quidditch team?
D-Mac.
Yeah.
What if Michigan State beat them? What if they did?
They can't handle that this year.
I've been naked in this box.
I don't even want that to happen.
What if they did?
I want them to get. I don't even want that for this man's here.
I do.
And forget the rest of Michigan fandom, right? But here's the one thing: is that I think that what all the years past, and Terry says it all the time, right? When it comes to this game, Michigan State can always throw records and anything out. They're there to play the game because it's little brother versus big brother. This is always a Thanksgiving Day football game, right before dinner with your cousins and the older cousins, and you got stuff to prove. It's just reality. This year, Michigan knows what's on the line. They know what they've put together. I don't think they're going to be surprised. And here's the whole thing. It's going to be a good game. It always usually is exciting. Sam, I can't wait to see what his text message is at halftime for that game.
No, but you know what it is, though?
I think they'll be all right.
When that one goes south, though, history has shown, when it goes south for Michigan State.
Hey, and that is very true. And honestly, like Spencer said, I think the talent gap and the execution gap between this Michigan team and this Michigan State team in 2022 is greater than even in like 2018 and 2016. Yes. So Michigan, there is no conceivable reason on planet Earth why Michigan State should win this game. There's no conceivable reason on planet Earth they should keep this game within 21 points.
Unless Jacoby Woodman breaks J.J. McCarthy's neck.
Hey,
but then they got Cade. And that's not Cade's going to come in.
Cade
and
still alive?
Like the
is
Michigan football team, the machine that is thrown out there at you. If you're talking about Alabama coming and playing at home in Michigan and them running all over them, what's Spencer? I'll ask you as a Michigan guy. What do you expect Michigan to do on the ground wise? We all know that we don't respect Michigan State's secondary to begin with, but I don't know if Jim Harbaugh is going to let J.J. McCarthy throw it down the field. But we know they're going to run Edwards and Corum. Yep. What does that mean? What do you look at it if you're a Sparty guy?
That is where we have a strength on our defense. If you're going to look at anything, it is,
But didn't Penn State have a strength on their defense?
Slade and Barrow are two dudes in the middle. But, they still can't stop Michigan's run game. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be very ugly.
But what if they did?
They could not throw the ball a single time and still put up like 40 points.
But what if they did, though, T?
What if they? Oh, man, dude, I'll be inconsolable.
You know what I saw this morning? I was looking at an old promo. What if Penn State beats Michigan? And I'm like, dude, they're not going to beat Michigan. Stop it. Behave yourself. Michigan has a good football team. They're going to win games this year, and they're going to challenge for a national title.
Spenny,
so get over it.
Michigan State defensive line, right? Are they throwing guardian alarm in there for that game?
Oh, they have
Would
to.
they be able to? Would that be the only way that they could stop? So maybe the Sparties, listen, forget about it. The Sparties got to work on what they got to work on. But for you guys out there, right now is the perfect time to make sure you have peace of mind. Home security from Guardian Alarm, most trusted name in home and business security with 24/7 monitoring. You can have the peace of mind knowing that you are being backed by the best in the security business. So if you want to be part of Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Family, you can. I need you to call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
How many straight flannel protected days?
147.
147 straight days of flannel protection, protecting the quarterback. Everything else here, Woodward Sports. Give them a call, 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Please let us play Cooper Rush.
That's Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy we sent you.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Hey guys, pay attention. We got a new promo here. We call it Woodward Front Row. So win a front row tickets to see Detroit versus the Green Bay Packers at Ford Field. So here's how you enter. You got to record a video doing your best Dan Campbell impression, man. You got to bring the phone and say, hey, man, we're just going to work hard, man. Do your best Dan Campbell. I don't know what it is. Post it on IG or Twitter with the hashtag Woodward Front Row. Make sure you're following Woodward Sports. We will select 3 winners, and they will get 2 tickets each to sit in front row for the Detroit Lions Green Bay Packers game. Winners will be announced November the 4th. So make sure you enter today, man.
Or you could just grab the phone and say, I hate that. Man, I hate that.
Yeah.
Man.
Extra points if you cry during the
might get in on it.
I bet we're going to see some thunder.
Oh, there's going to be some good ones.
Yeah.
Micro Mike does a really good Dan Campbell.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Oh, we need. I would love to sit back and go through those, and I'm hey Stick. Can I be on the selection committee? Wow, maybe that's how it starts. Is that what it is? You just got to get on the selection committee here, and then the NCAA might give you a Heisman vote, or maybe.
Yeah.
We're gonna need them. 12 teams.
WoodwardSports.com, chat there at Clomp Sauce. What's the date for the Lions game? Clomp, you're on the computer. Look it up, man.
Google it.
Yeah, it's right there, Clomp Sauce. Come on, we can't do everything for you. All right.
What was real quick? What was your favorite game of the weekend, or favorite? Was there a favorite sporting event?
Alabama, Tennessee. And Jack Harrington saying, "Why, Neal? Why do you hate Bama?" I don't hate Bama.
I hate Bama.
But you respect them.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you can't hate Alabama. You can't hate Alabama. I don't hate Alabama. But it was Alabama, Tennessee for all of it. That's college sports, man. That's college sports. And then them throwing the goalpost in the river and stuff like that.
That was awesome.
And that was college sports.
The way they walked it out of the stadium, you haven't seen it. The way they tore it down, the way they wrote it out, and the way everybody, everybody just allowed it, and it was a whole, the cops and everybody, it was just right down to the river.
There was a video of the president sitting in his suite, and some guy asked him, they're like, how much is that going to cost? He's like, oh, a lot, but we'll do it every year.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
But you know what? Tennessee has a $1.35 billion endowment. Billion. But you know what they're doing? They're asking their fans to pay for the goalpost.
They're doing a crowdsourcing for the goalpost. The athletic director makes $1.8 million, and he's on there talking about, hey, we're kind of looking for you to help us out here for the cost of these goalposts. If I'm the athletic director, what is it? It's $200,000 or $100,000 for new goalposts?
I think it's
$135,000. If I'm the athletic director, I'll pay for that every single year we beat Alabama. Every single year we beat Alabama. I'll pay for it myself.
And if I'm a Tennessee fan, I would write him and tell him to go to hell.
That's what I would do. I thought the exact same thing. But it was all hey, as I said, that was college sports in a nutshell, right? The passion, them beating Alabama, they tear the goalpost down, they throw it in the river, and then the athletics office asking you to pay for it.
Right.
That's
ridiculous.
It was all college sports the whole way around.
Here,
so
I just grabbed a video real quick of them carrying it out of the stadium. I don't have the one of them throwing it in the river, but I do have this one.
I got to see this. Yeah.
I think my highlight.
There's them taking it out of the tunnel.
There's Spencer.
Yeah.
There he is, directing traffic from the top, driving. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, Spencer's not actually carrying it out. He's telling everybody where to go.
Oh, for sure. And I would definitely get a pair of those orange and white checkered overalls.
Oh yeah, that's Spenny with no shirt underneath.
No shirt underneath.
Yeah, just the old
and a straw hat.
Face painted, barrel hairy chest.
and most importantly, Terry, only one of the overall things done. The other one undone.
Yes,
has to be.
And a straw hat.
Yeah. You know what? You missed out. You should have been at Tennessee.
I should have been,
bro. I should have went to Tennessee.
You should be a volunteer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Woodwardsports.com chat thread. Philippines on Demand. Neal, what did you think about the Utah quarterback Cameron Rising? Do you think he'd be a good NFL quarterback? I like the kid. I like him. Their tight end was phenomenal. Has caught 16 passes, the most catches by anybody. And they did this weird thing, T, where they found something that works and went to it over.
Stuck with
it.
Over
and over again.
Teams don't do that anymore.
Why?
Because they feel they got to out-coach you, and they always feel that the other team is going to adjust to it. And sometimes they don't. They don't adjust to it. So you can keep rolling as long as you want.
Real quick, Sean MK, Neal's fairly accurate unless he's talking about Michigan and Michigan State when his emotions get the best of him. Emotions never get the best of him. Never, ever
I don't
get
know
the
why
best
everybody
of him.
thinks you're just this giant Michigan State slappy.
I don't know either, but whatever. For D-Mac, for Terry Foster, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, my name is Neal Ruhl. See you down at LCA tonight, everybody. Red Wings King, must win or fire everybody. Well, see you later.